Now it's gone.
It's all set?
Yeah, we was on, Aaron always does time lapse, so that it was gonna do 600 photos and then like speed them up or whatever.
Actually, Market Basket has hard shell lobster on sale for $6.99 a pound. We should do a cookout.
I can hear the train clicking.
That's what that is?
Yeah.
I always thought that was the starter disengaging.
Oh, I don't know. It sounds.
I figured it was the
It was
starter.
underneath, so I figured it was the training.
Should be. Hmm?
I always thought it was, but
Could be this. It always did that.
no.
No. Do you have to pump it on this to open the choke and stuff?
I think the choke's open right now. I don't know. I'll take the air cleaner off. Just leave that off for now.
You have the Stormtrooper Jeep.
Huh?
You have the Stormtrooper Jeep.
What do you mean?
Looks like a Stormtrooper.
This one does? Oh, that one? Yeah. I was like, what? But yeah, the Cherokee makes more sense there. That was Aaron. Which, I mean, now that we have it, I absolutely love the colors, but
Yeah.
when she said she wanted white, I was like, are you kidding me? But I like it.
I was kind of the same with the Tahoe, that like goldish pewter thing. Like I really hated it at first, but I got used to it.
Yeah, it's got a tow hook on it there.
I like this. I don't mind the white with this, like because you blacked a bunch out.
Did you say you can't put a trailer hitch on that?
I can. It's a lease, so I don't want to go to like.
I thought it was a special. Like if there's one that comes a certain way, you can't put one, right?
I don't know.
With the
This
Hemi
isn't
or
one of
something, it's
those.
got the center exhaust.
This is it's because it's a lease. I don't. Can you hit this with starting fluid when I turn it? I just like people like bring it to U-Haul or whatever for a couple $100. It's like, yeah, that'd be great if I owned it, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have anyone but Bob Mariano, who the lease is through, do the work. And they already told me it's $1,000 to put a
It's crazy.
Can you just like periodically hit it? Because I think the fuel is probably
Yeah.
How much are you hitting it with?
Was it running with you, or was I doing it?
Probably you. I could feel it surging with you.
Okay.
I mean, I'm giving it gas, but I don't know if anything's actually
It doesn't
coming
do
out.
anything till you pump it.
Yeah, no, I definitely.
Hey, I got a job
You got a job? Where?
at the Henderson outside by the house.
Oh, nice.
Because the vehicles don't want that thing locked there, you know.
Ride
Yeah.
your bike.
That's a good idea.
Definitely.
A few days a week, just to break back into things.
All right. You're on the camera. I'm gonna put it into gear. Just come close to see if we can get that wide on camera. I don't know how well it's picking up audio. Maybe come like under the. Oh, of course it stops. Like the pump is occluded, or the trans. I don't know. I don't know transmissions at all, but then it goes away apart.
Oh, you're right here.
That was neutral. In neutral, everything, the fluid's flowing.
In neutral, the fluid's flowing. You said.
I think so. I'm pretty sure because they say to check the fluid level in neutral.
Yeah.
So to me, I mean, it's doing something. I would imagine the fluid's going. You're right.
Yeah, funny one. I did it again. I did it on the same chair. I like that exhaust. Not bad.
It's, yeah, I don't mind it. Alright. So, where's my phone? I made a plan. I want to make sure I'm 100% on the plan.
I have your phone.
Do you?
The transmission.
The last one? Yeah, I haven't edited it since. I'm pretty sure my first thing was drop the pan and put a new filter in.
How many filters you got?
Drop pan, remove
One.
filter, drain fluid.
How many times you gonna?
Just once. Yeah, see, what do we got? Drop pan, what?
So, but you would
Remove
need another filter.
Drain fluid.
No. Drop pan, remove, yeah, flush coolers. So I'm going to drop the pan and empty that and take the old filter out. Put a new filter in, clean the pan up, put the pan back on. And then I'm going to take...
gasket?
Huh?
Pan gasket?
Yeah, there's one in the box.
Okay.
Then I'm going to take the output line off of the transmission, flush with the cooler clean through the radiator, the auxiliary cooler, and then take that line off, the return line off, and dump that into a bucket. So it's going to flush the radiator and the auxiliary cooler and that line. Then I'm going to take the return line, I'm going to put it back together, I'm going to take the return line off, reverse flush through the return line, and then reverse flush with air through the return line, and then put that back on, put that back on, and then I'm going to reverse flush, or straight flush the output again with air, so that everything's clear of the cooler clean. Then I'm going to hook everything back up. I'm going to dump 4 quarts, because that's what the oil change, or the change
Is that
requires.
going to get all the oil out when you pull the pan from the transmission itself?
No, it only gets 4. It gets about half of it. It's full into the torque converter. So I'm going to dump 4 in new, fresh, but that's not circulating, so that's going to sit in the pan. This is my theory. It's going to sit in the pan. Then I'm going to pull the return line off again at the radiator, and I'm going to run it, and I'm going to dump a quart. And then I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to put another quart in. And I'm going to run it and dump a quart. So once I get 8 quarts through, in theory, I've changed out all of it.
Okay.
And
the only thing I don't like about that is after you've flushed all this stuff and still flushing and pulling new stuff through, you should have a new filter at the end.
Well, no, because the only stuff going through the filter through the pan is going to be the new stuff going in, because the return line's off.
Okay.
In theory.
But when you put it back together, what about the half of the other oil that's still in there? That's going to
It should come out, because as I'm adding quarts, it should be pushing out the new stuff.
Okay.
In theory, I don't know. It's probably going to mix a little bit. It's probably not gonna be 100%, but this is my like.
Well, you don't know till you
Royal
try.
flush.
Yeah. This is, and then when I'm done, when I've circulated enough fresh stuff, I'm going to put an inline filter in just past the radiator on the return line, so that it's going to have 2 filters.
Yeah.
And if that, first of all, if I get gears after changing the filter, I know it's a pressure issue. And if I don't, I'm still going to do the flush because it could be a pressure issue because my radiators could be clogged. So I'm going to try those.
Yeah.
And then once I get the filters in place, and if it's still holding gears, then I know it was just a pressure issue. If that doesn't solve it, it could still be a pressure issue based on the radiator, I don't know. But if that doesn't solve it, at that point I'm going to assume there's something going on inside, and I won't do it today. I'm going to check all the bands and everything. I'll have to drop the pan and check all that again. But it was rebuilt, and it slowly died, so I'm thinking it's a pressure issue. Worst case scenario, though, is that there was gunk. Like I said, I forgot to flush the auxiliary cooler.
Yeah.
I flushed the radiator. I didn't flush the auxiliary. So there could have been a ton of gunk in there. Or it could just be bad.
You'll
It's got
know when you
dents in
pull
it.
the pan if there's gunk in the pan.
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet there is. So that's the plan. And worst case scenario is the trash that was left in the auxiliary cooler got into the internals and fucked something up in there. Like, that noise could be an occluded pump, is what I'm thinking. Like, it sounds like something can't do something right. It's like spinning without fluid or something like that. I don't know. So this is
That
my
noise
plan.
you're hearing in neutral, like sounds a little bit like that when the truck stalls.
Do you think it's the same noise?
I
then?
think so.
It could be. I honestly don't know. Very well could be though. Okay.
You doing reverse first?
No.
Ah, no way.
That's just stuff under the
Now those are
tires.
rear end actually.
Stuff under the tires, I think.
No, those are rear end.
You're gonna hear brakes because they're rusted. make pothole. Good idea.
I just want to see if my mom will freak out.
Always.
Got a bit of a shudder to it, but that could be the motor too. You still filming? Or you can pause.